Hey guys, this is Mike with Resistance Photography. I've had a few people recently ask me on how I created my watermark. I know there are several ways to do it. I know you can go to like Pinterest or something like that and you can actually buy a watermark. But for me, I'm broke, so I like to actually make my own stuff or do it myself if I possibly could. So the way I did mine was I go up to File, go to New, and create the dimensions that you want for your watermark. I'm just going to do something large like this. Make sure it's 300 ppi, all that kind of good stuff. And you can name it. I'm just going to leave mine untitled for now. And then I'm going to do a white watermark. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change my background to black. And then now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the text. Now switch that back over to white. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's do different font size for now. So we'll do Resistance. And then since I have Resistance and Photography kind of separated, I'm going to go ahead and do that on two separate layers. And you know, you can go through and select the type of font that you want or create your own. It's all up to you. And you know, for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna, you know, keep it regular for now. Position that to where I think it's gonna be, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do Photography down here at the bottom. Now I'll be adjusting the size of these here in a moment. In my watermark, I have a huge square right here, or rectangle I should say. So I'm gonna go ahead and create that real quick. So something about right there looks good. And then I'll go ahead and I'll adjust the pixels. I'll do something a little bold just for the sake of this video. And then now that I've done that, I need to make sure my font lines up with it. So Photography's a little bit larger than what I would want. So depending on the look that I want, I can either adjust it up here, or I can go to my character tab and adjust it here. And for me, I'll probably just go ahead and adjust it here. You can make it bold. You can do anything you want with your font with this tab. So if you've not used this tab, I would recommend going and exploring it and testing out the different options that you have. You can make your font taller, shorter, fat, wide, all that good stuff. Yeah, you get the point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop in my R right in the middle. My little R. And then since it's really tiny, I'll resize it to a bigger size. We'll center it up the best that we can. You can go in and use the grid in your menu if you want to kind of make sure everything's perfectly lined up. Most of the time I don't. I probably should, but I don't. And then we'll resize. Let's do a 500, see how that looks. That's a little bit better. So there, we'll just keep it like that. This is a lot different than my logo, watermark, whatever you want to call it, but same concept. So now that I have done that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flatten all these layers. You can group them together or whatever. For me, I just like to flatten them. So I'll go to Rasterize Type. I'll go to Merge Layers. The only bad thing about this is I can't go back and change anything in my watermark. But this is the way that I do it. So the way that you do it could be a little bit different, and that's awesome. And then so I'll go ahead, duplicate my layer, and on my top layer, this is what I like to do. I'll hit Control I, and that inverts it, so I have a black layer instead of a white. I'll turn off my background, drop it below the white, and then move it down just a little bit. Now you don't have to create a drop shadow for your layer if you don't want. I have one on mine. It's not really too noticeable, but there's times where I'll blow my logo up and use it for larger things, and it looks nice having a drop shadow. I'll bring this down to about 70%, around there, and I like it. And then what's really cool about this is you can interchange them, so you can have a dark logo with a white behind it, and then, you know, adjust the black and make it 100% and take the white down to 70, vice versa. Pretty neat, super interchangeable for me anyways. I only use the white. I keep it at that. I like it like that. My watermark, I'll keep in the same corner of every picture no matter what, because for me, I like consistent looks like that. Some people will place it right in the center near, you know, the subject, and that's awesome if you do that, but for me, I couldn't do that with this watermark. It just wouldn't work. I like it in the corner. I think it's clean looking and it rocks. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my background not selected. You can go through and, you know, click this and delete it if you want, or just uncheck it. And sometimes what I would like to do at the very end is kind of just crop my image pretty tight. That way, you know, when you go to save it, you don't have a lot of wasted space in your image. And there we go, that's it. I'll go to File, Save As, and I keep my image on my, I keep my watermark on my desktop. So I go to Desktop, and then when you go to save it, this is the big thing for me. A lot of people save in JPEG mode. I like to save in PNG when I do something like this, because what that does is that keeps your background empty. So now when I pull this file, I can place this file image and I will have an empty background. If you save as JPEG, it will give you a white background, and when you go to place it over an image, you're just gonna have a big rectangle with your logo. And so now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and I'll close this. Don't need to save it, I already did. And then I'll open just a recent picture that I did. So here's one, and then I'll go ahead, and since I've saved this to my desktop, I'll go ahead and drag it into Photoshop and wait for it to load. And there we go, pretty good sized watermark. So now I can hit Shift, drag the corner down, resize it to about the size I want, and something like that. Oh, make sure I do this a lot. Make sure you let go of the mouse before you let go of Shift, otherwise you're going to get a distorted image. There we go, much better. And then I usually place mine down here, click place, and there we go. And then what I'll do with this watermark is I'll take it and I'll drop it down to about 70%. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can do all different kinds of designs. It doesn't have to be boxy and squared like mine. But the main thing is just making sure that you get rid of that background, save it as a PNG, and have it easily accessible so that you can use it. What's cool about that is if you use Lightroom, you can also import that PNG into Lightroom, and it'll automatically place the watermark and the size and everything you want on all your images. And it's pretty awesome. I don't know, there might be other ways to do this. If there is, feel free to let me know. I wouldn't mind researching them and kind of learning them. If you guys would like to see how to import this exact watermark into Lightroom, comment me, message me, or contact me in any way, and I'll take some time and do that video as well. Alright, well, I think that's it for today. You guys have a great day and stay blessed.